what we read yesterday, and then we will continue. The great sage Narad immediately carried the news to the Yadu dynasty that Samba was arrested and told them the whole story. The members of the Yadu dynasty become very angry at Samba's being arrested and improperly so by 6 warriors. Now, with the permission of the head of the Yadu dynasty's king, Ugrasena, they prepared to attack the capital city of the Kuru dynasty. So that's where we were yesterday. Although Lord Balram knew very well that by slight provocation, people are prepared to fight with one another in the age of Kali. This is the quarrelsome, prominent quality of age of Kali, quarrel and hypocrisy. Somehow or other, I think we have to imbibe those virtues in our life, that we should not become angry, not to fight, even among the family members. There will be always the moments of, that we may not be able to agree with each other. Those moments will come within family members. But somehow we have to learn the art not to get into the, we can share our feeling, but live up to Krishna. It is so nice. Yesterday, I spent like a very nice devotee. I consider her as my sister. We spent about 2.5 hours. So nice. And then other also in the evening, another devotee, long-term devotee. You may not see him regularly at the temple. A very nice, wonderful devotee. We have a wonderful 1-hour talk in the evening before I went to sleep. So yesterday was a very nice association of knowing the devotees and what they are struggling and how we can assist each other, So in the age of Kali, everybody prepared to fight with another for the small thing. And he did not like the idea that the two great dynasties, Kuru dynasty and the Yadu dynasty, would fight among themselves, even though they were influenced by the Kali Yuga. Quote, instead of fighting with them, he wisely thought, this is Balram, let me go there and see the situation, and let me try to see if the fight can be settled by mutual understanding. That's what Krishna did to Duryodhana, but he didn't succeed. So Balram's idea was that if the Kuru dynasty could be induced to release Samba along with his wife, Lakshman, then the fight could be avoided. He therefore immediately arranged for a nice chariot to go to Hastinapur, accompanied by learned priests and brahmanas, as well as by some of the elderly members of the Yadu dynasty. He was confident that the member of the Kuru dynasty would agree to this marriage and avoid fighting among themselves. As Lord Balram proceeded toward Hastinapur in this chariot, accompanied by the learned brahmanas and the elderly members of the Yadu dynasty, he looked like the moon shining in the clear sky among the glittering stars. When Lord Balram reached the precinct of the city of Hastinapur, he did not enter, but stationed himself in a camp outside of the city in a small garden house. Then Balram asks Uddhava to see the leader of the Kuru dynasty and inquire from them whether they wanted to fight with the Yadu dynasty or to make a settlement. Uddhava went to see the leaders of the Kuru dynasty, and he met all the important members, including Bhishmadev, Dhritarashtra, Dronacharya, Bali, Duryodhan, and Bahlika. After offering them due respect, he informed them that Lord Balram had already arrived at the garden outside the city door. The leaders of the Kuru dynasty, especially Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, were very joyful because they knew very well that Lord Balram was a great well-wisher of their family. There were no bounds to their joy on hearing the news, and so immediately they welcomed Uddhava. In order to properly receive Lord Balram, they all took auspicious paraphernalia for his reception in their hands and went to see him outside the city door. According to their respective positions, they welcomed Lord Balram by giving him in charity nice cows and argha, an assortment of articles such as aratrika, water, sweet preparation of honey, butter, etc., and flowers, and garland scented with pulp. Because all of them knew the exalted position of Lord Balram as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they bowed their heads before the Lord with great respect. They all exchanged words of reception by asking one another of their welfare. And when such formality was finished, Lord Balram, in a great voice and very patiently, submitted before them the following words for their consideration. Quote, "My dear friends, this time I have come to you as a messenger with the order of the all-powerful King Ugrasena. Please, therefore, hear the order with attention and great care. Without wasting a single moment, please try to carry out the order. King Ugrasena knows very well that you warriors of the Kuru dynasty improperly fought with the pious Samba, who was alone, and that with great difficulty and tactics you have arrested him. We have all heard this news, but we are not very agitated because we are most intimately related to each other. I do not think we should disturb our good relationship. We should continue our friendship without any unnecessarily fighting. Please, therefore, immediately release Samba and bring him along with his wife Lakshmana before me." Unquote. So when Lord Balram spoke in a commanding tone, full of heroic assertion, supremacy, his statements were not appreciated by the leader of the Kuru dynasty. Rather, all of them become agitated, and with great anger, they said, this is the symptom of a demoniac mentality. They were initially so pleased, but when they hear that there is not benefit to them or their thought process, they become totally angry. They flip-flop their position. Haribol. Hello, These words are very astonishing but quite befitting the age of Kali. Otherwise, how could Balram speak so vituperatively? Vituperatively. Haribol, that's the first time. If anybody can look it up, maybe with the anger, I don't know. Somebody can look it up. Vituperatively. That's the first time I read this word. The language and tone used by Balram are simply abusive, and due to the influence of this age, it appears that the shoes befitting the feet want to rise to the top of the head where the helmet is worn. We are connected with the Yadu dynasty by marriage, and because of this, they have been given the chance to come live with us, dine with us, and sleep with us. Now they are taking advantage of these privileges. They had practically no position before we give them a portion of our kingdom to rule. And now they are trying to command us. Bitter and abusive language. Yeah, that's what I thought. Angry mood. Thank you very much. So we have allowed the Yadu dynasty to use the royal insignias like the whisk, fan, kongsal, white umbrella, crown, royal throne, sitting place, bedstead, and everything befitting the royal order. They should not have used such royal paraphernalia in our presence, but we did not check them due to our family relationship. Now they have the audacity to order us to do things. Well, this is enough of their impudence. We cannot allow them to do any more of these things now, nor shall we allow them to use these royal insignias. It would be best to take all of these things away. It is improper to feed a snake with milk, since such merciful activities simply increase his venom. The Yadu dynasty is now trying to go against those who have fed them so nicely. Their flourishing condition is due to our gift and merciful behavior. And still, they are so shameless that they are trying to order us. How regrettable are all these activities are. No one in the world can enjoy anything if the member of the Kuru dynasty like Bhishma, Dronacharya and Arjuna do not allow them to. Exactly as a lamb cannot enjoy life in the presence of a lion, without our desire, it is not even possible for the demigods in heaven, headed by King Indra, to find enjoyment in life, not to speak of ordinary human beings. Actually, the members of the Kuru dynasty were very puffed up due to their opulence, kingdom, aristocracy, family traditions, great warriors, family members, and vast, expansive empire. They did not even observe common formalities of civilized society. In presence of Lord Balram, they uttered insulting words about the Yadu dynasty. Speaking in this unmannerly way, they returned to the city of Hastinapur. Haribol. Although Lord Balram patiently heard their insulting words and simply observed their uncivil behavior, From his appearance, it was clear that he was burning with anger and was thinking of retaliating with great vengeance. His bodily features became so agitated that it was difficult for anyone to look at him. He laughed very loudly and then said, quote, "It is true that if a man becomes too puffed up because of his family, opulence, beauty, and material advancement, he no longer wants a peaceful life but becomes belligerent toward all others." This is the lesson we should learn, Haribol. It is useless to give such a person good instruction for gentle behavior and peaceful life. But on the contrary, one should search out the ways and means to punish him. Unquote. Generally, due to material opulence, a man becomes exactly like an animal. To give an animal peaceful instructions is useless, and the only means is argumentum. In other words, the only means to keep animal in order is a stick. Quote, "Just see how impudent the member of the Kuru dynasty are. I wanted to make a peaceful settlement despite the anger of all other members of the Yadu dynasty, including Lord Krishna himself. They were preparing to attack the whole kingdom of the Kuru dynasty, but I pacified them and took the trouble to come here to settle the affair without any fighting. Still, these rascals behave like this. It is clear that they do not want a peaceful settlement, but that they are factually warmongers. With great pride, they have repeatedly insulted me by calling the Yadu dynasty ill names. So even the king of the heaven, Indra, abides by the order of the Yadu dynasty, and you consider King Ugrasena, who is the head of the Bhojas, Vrishnis, Andhakas, and Yadavas, to be the leader of a small planet. Your conclusion is wonderful. You do not care for King Ugrasena, whose order is obeyed even by King Indra. Consider the exalted position of the Yadu dynasty. They have forcibly used both the assembly house and the Parijata tree of the heavenly planet, and still you think that they cannot order you? Don't you even think that Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead, can sit on the exalted royal throne and command everyone? All right. If your thinking is like that, then you deserve to be taught a very good lesson. You have thought it wise that the royal insignias like the whisk, fan, white umbrella, royal throne, and other princely paraphernalia not be used by the Yadu dynasty. Does this mean that even Lord Krishna, the Lord of the whole creation and the husband of the goddess of fortune, cannot use this royal paraphernalia? The dust of Krishna's lotus feet is worshipped by all the great demigods. The Ganga water is inundating the whole world, and since it is emanating from his lotus feet, its banks have turned into a great place of pilgrimage. The principal deities of all the planets are engaged in his service, and they consider themselves most fortunate to take the dust of the lotus feet of Krishna on their helmets. Great demigods like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and even the goddess of fortune and I are simply plenary part of his spiritual identity. And still you think that he is not fit to use the royal insignia or even sit on the royal throne? Alas, how regrettable it is that these fools consider us, the member of the Yadu dynasty, to be like shoes and themselves like helmets. It is clear now that this leader of the Kuru dynasty have become mad over their worldly possessions and opulence. Every statement they made was full of crazy proposals. I should immediately take them to task and bring them to their senses. If I do not take steps against them, it will be improper on my part. Therefore, on this very day, I shall rid the whole world of any trace of the Kuru dynasty. I shall finish off immediately. Haribo. While talking like this, Lord Balram seems to so furious that he looked as if he could burn the whole cosmic creations to ashes. He stood up steadily and taking his plow in his hand, began striking the earth with it. In this way, the whole city of Hastinapur was separated from the earth. Lord Balram then began to drag the city toward the flowing water of the river Ganga. And because of this, there was a great tremor throughout Hastinapur, as if there had been an earthquake. And it seems that the whole city would be dismantled. When all the members of the Kuru dynasty saw that the city was about to fall into the water of the Ganga, and when they heard their citizen howling in great anxiety, they immediately came to their senses and understood what was happening. Finally, thus without waiting another second, they brought forward their daughter Lakshmana. They also brought Samba, who had forcibly tried to take her away, keeping him in the forefront with Lakshmana at his back. All the members of the Kuru dynasty appeared before Lord Balram with folded hands, just to beg the pardon of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, using good sense, they said, quote, O Lord Balram, you are the reservoir of all pleasures. You are the maintainer and support of the entire cosmic situation. Unfortunately, we were all unaware of your inconceivable potency. Haribo. Dear Lord, please consider us most foolish. Our intelligence was bewildered and not in order. Therefore, we have come before you to beg your pardon. Please excuse us. You are the original creator, sustainer, and annihilator of the whole cosmic manifestation. And still, your position is always transcendental. O all-powerful Lord, great sages speak about you. You are the original puppeteer, and everything in the world is just like your toys. O unlimited one, you have a hold on everything, and like child's play, you hold all the planetary system on your head. When the time for dissolutions comes, you close up the whole cosmic manifestation within yourself. At that time, nothing remains but yourself lying in the casual ocean as Mahavishnu. Our dear Lord, you have appeared on this earth in your transcendental body just for the maintenance of the cosmic situation. You are above all anger, envy, and enmity. Whatever you do, even in the form of a chastisement, is auspicious for the whole material existence. We are offering our respectful obeisances unto you because you are the imperishable Supreme Personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all opulences and potencies. O Creator of the innumerable universes, let us fall down and offer you our respectful obeisances again and again. We are now completely surrendered unto you. Please, therefore, be merciful upon us and give us your protections. Unquote. When the prominent member of the Kuru dynasty, beginning with grandfather Bhishmadev down to Arjuna and Duryodhana, had offered the respectful prayer in that way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Balram, immediately becomes softened and assured them there was no cause for fear and that they need not worry. Lord Balram is so merciful. For the most part, it was the practice of the Kshatriya king to inaugurate some kind of fighting between the parties of the bride and bridegroom before the marriage. When Samba forcibly took away Lakshmana, the elderly member of the Kuru dynasty were pleased to see that he was actually the suitable match for her. In order to see his personal strength, however, they fought with him, and without any respect for the regulation of fighting, they all arrested him. When the Yadu dynasty decided to release Samba from the confinement of the Kurus, Lord Balram came personally to settle the matter. And as a powerful Kshatriya, he ordered them to free Samba immediately. The Kauravas became superficially insulted by this order, so they challenged Lord Balram's power. They simply wanted to see him exhibit his inconceivable strength. Thus, with great pleasure, they handed over the daughter to Samba, and the whole matter was settled. Duryodhan, being affectionate toward his daughter Lakshmana, had her married to Samba in great pomp. For her dowry, he first gave 1,200 elephants, each of which were at least 60-years old. Then he gave 10,000 nice horses, 6,000 chariots, which were dazzling just like the sunshine, and 1,000 maidservants, who were decorated with golden ornaments. Lord Balram, the most prominent member of the Yadu dynasty, acted as a guardian of the virgin Samba and very pleasingly accepted the dowry. Balram was very satisfied after his great reception from the side of the Kurus and accompanied by the newly married couple. He started toward his capital city of Dwarka. So Lord Balram triumphantly reached Dwarka, where he met with many citizens who were all his devotees and friends. When they all assembled, Lord Balram narrated the whole story of the marriage, and they were astonished to hear how Balram had made the city of Hastinapur tremble. It is confirmed by Sukadev Goswami that the site of Hastinapur is now known as New Delhi, and the river flowing through the city is called the Yamuna. although in those days it was known as Ganga. From authorities like Jiva Goswami, it is also confirmed that the Gangas and the Yamuna are the same river flowing in different courses. The part of the Ganga which flows through Hastinapur to the area of Vrindavan is called the Yamuna because it is sanctified by the transcendental pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna. And the part of the Hastinapur which slopes toward the Yamuna becomes inundated during the rainy season and reminds everyone of Lord Balram's threatening to cast the city into the Ganga. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the second volume, 13th chapter of Krishna, the marriage of Shamba. So we have 5 more minutes. Now it is good that we can read many, so we can cover many books. Chapter 14. The great sage Narada visited the different homes of Lord Krishna, Haribol. The great sage Narada, he also can expand unlimitedly. Then and then he can witness the different activities, right? So it says that all the eternal associate has the capacities to expand like Lord Sri Krishna. I will listen in the class and I heard that. So the great sage Narada heard that Lord Krishna had married 16,000 wives after he had killed the demon Narakasur, sometime called Bhaumasur. So Narada became astonished. The Lord Krishna has expanded himself into 16,000 forms and married these wives simultaneously in different palaces. Being inquisitive as to how Krishna was managing his household affair with so many wives, Narad Muni desired to see these pastimes and to set out to visit Krishna's different homes. When Narada arrived in Dwarka, he saw that the gardens and parks were full of various flowers of different colors and orchids that were overloaded with a variety of fruits. Beautiful birds were chirping, and peacocks were diligently crowing. There were tanks and ponds full of blue and red lotus flowers, and some of these sites were filled with varieties of lilies. The lakes were full of nice swans and cranes, whose voices resounded everywhere. In the city, there were as many as 900,000. That's the number of cow Nanda Baba has, right? So as many 900,000 great palaces built of first-class marble with gates and doors made of silver. The posts of the houses and palaces were bedecked with jewels such as touchstone, sapphires, and emeralds, and the floors gave off a beautiful luster. The highways, lanes, street, crossing, and marketplace were all beautifully decorated. The whole city was full of residential homes, assembly houses, and temples, all of different architectural beauty. All of this made Dwarka a glowing city. The big avenues, crossing, lanes, street, and also the thousand of every residential house were very clean. On both sides of every path, there were bushes, and at a regular interval, there were large trees that shaded the avenue so that the sunshine would not bother the passers-by. I think the time has come. We should stop. It's 6:54. So we should be punctual in our activities. Time management. It's so fascinating to see that, we should bisect our day, how we want to utilize our day. We may be not always able to maintain that schedule, but if we have nothing, then what is the hope how we will spend the day? So I think the great personalities, if you watch, they manage the time so efficiently. And how they do that? They plan that activity of the day far ahead. So at least if we cannot plan years ahead or the months ahead, at least we should have some plan what we are going to do today. And one thing is for my small realization that just even allow 15-20 minutes that okay, I'm going to read Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm going to read 20 minutes Chaitanya Charitamrita or whatever the book you like. And try to see before you go to sleep that you read those things. These enrich our devotional practices. We need to keep in contact with Prabhupada Vani, and he has given us the wonderful book. And when we read it, it's actually we enjoy. Like yesterday also, I think in Naperville, when I was taking a walk in the evening, I tune in and I hear Ramapat Swami Maharaj was giving a class. And I was amazed that, Maharaj, normally those program goes late, but yesterday I was shocked. And Maharaj finished at 8:03 p.m. The class was over. But Maharaj covered so many personalities, the close associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like Murari Gupta. And Maharaj was saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed him the Varahadev. And then Srivas Pandit, he showed him the Nrsimha, the Ugra Nrsimha form. And so many nice pastimes Maharaj was reciting about different personality, Vakreshwar Pandit, Mukunda, Srivas Pandit, Murari Gupta. So nice to hear. And I was thinking that I have not yet read, all this book completely. It's unfortunate, but at least, 15-20 minutes we should dwell, at least read something, which is very pleasing to our heart. And our day becomes so nice actually. And when you meet someone, you can always share what you read, otherwise what kind of talk we will do? If we have not read anything, it's very difficult. So I think we need to make some planning that will help. That's my observation. So I will chant until 7:30 and then I will continue chanting, but my humble request that who has not yet chanted on this quorum,